We are here to talk about having an agent, which is, it bothers me, Dale, that the word have could mean so many different things. And we don't try. And it's the only time, I don't know about in your market, but it's the only time I've regularly heard the expression step on toes. I don't hear it any other, but like, don't want to step on anybody's toes.
Oh man, I hate that so much. I really hate that phrase. And
Yeah.
so we just, I have a call. We're gonna talk about our structure for dealing with people who say they have an agent or mention that they're working with somebody or they spoke to somebody or they're thinking of using someone. So we're going to teach everybody the format today. And down near the end, we can actually bring some people up and we can role play it live because you know me, I love actually teaching people right in real time. But I have a call from one of our students with my coaching company where he actually uses it in real time with a lead. And so I want to play that for us so we can hear it. And yeah, the stepping on toes things is just ridiculous because we played this call the other day, Brian Curtis and I, on my podcast, Cash Call, right? Okay. And I should say our podcast. That's not a very good relationship.
Brian doesn't care.
Brian, okay. Brian's my better half, right? So it's our podcast. But we played the call and both Brian and I said, hey, this salesperson is doing a great job in staying in this conversation with someone. But based on what we're hearing, we would have actually let it go.
Really?
Would have let it go because, you know, from what the lead describes, well, one, she also self-admittedly is very picky and has a low budget and very high tastes, which that's a mark in the negative column. But she did also describe how much work the agent's done with her, you know, describing their relationship and stuff like that. And so, you know, Brian and I hearing that, both of us come from the same place. And we're like, listen, we honor the other people in our industry. And if they're doing a good job for somebody and they're happy with it, you know, and I don't need the money to keep the lights on. I'm going to let it stay with that person. I'm not going to take the sandwich out of the mouth.
The digging is when they said has an agent because they think they met one at the grocery store yesterday. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, we see so-and-so sign everywhere, so we're going to call them. Well, hold on a second. Let's see if I can head you off of the pass here, right?
I love it. I love it. Are we going to play the recording now or?
Well, let's talk about the format real quick. So, and again, as we were alluding to, when somebody said, I just use, I have an agent because it's one of those scroll stoppers, right? Mm-hmm. You know, that's a hard one, but it really implies or applies to anywhere where, as we said, like somebody who is receiving emails from an agent or they know so-and-so who use such and such agent, they're going to reach out to them, or, you know, there's no formal relationship. So there's really a wide range, and it's a 4-step process that we use. And the first step is paraphrase, right? So basically I'm just going to repeat back to them what they said in a questioning tone, so I can elicit more information from them without having to figure out what question to ask. And I'll demonstrate that for you first before we play this call.
Okay.
So the first one is paraphrase. It goes this way: paraphrase, committed, signed, benefit. So everybody listening can write that down.
Paraphrase,
committed, signed, benefit.
Okay.
Paraphrase, committed, signed, benefit. And it sounds like this. So Barry, I'm going to ask you to buy a home with me, and you're going to tell me that you have an agent already. Okay. So Barry, can I sell you your next perfect home?
Oh, I've got an agent actually already.
Oh, you have an agent?
Yes, I do.
You do? Got it. Are you committed to that agent?
No. I mean, I don't think so.
Okay. So I would stop the role play, or I would stop the line of question there, and I would go on with discovery if you say no. Typically what happens is you're either going to say yes or you're going to waffle, right? Waffle is like, oh, well, they're sending me emails, or they seem like a nice person, or they helped my mom's sister's aunt, right? And they did a great job. That's the waffle. So we'll do it one more time. Oh, you have an agent?
I do.
Got it. Are you committed to that agent?
This is me waffling.
Give me your waffle.
I would do things hard. Anyway, no, you know, they have been sending me listings. They did show me a house last week. So But yeah, I got an agent.
Okay, great. Have you signed anything with that agent yet?
No, they did mention bringing something to the next showing, but no, I haven't signed anything yet.
Okay, great. Got it. And just out of curiosity, what's the benefit to working with that agent over any other agent in the market, if there is one?
Well, they seemed kind of nice.
Okay, they were nice. Great. So now what I've discovered is so far you're not super tied to them. They've been a functionary. They're reasonably okay and nice, right? They opened a door for you.
Functionary, you're saying they're meeting the need?
They're meeting the need.
Okay.
Right. So you don't sound like you have any sort of emotional attachment to them. They didn't wow you. They didn't. And this is one that I took from Brian, which I really love. They haven't shown you what their buyer advantage program or seller, advantage program is, whatever it is, right? There's nothing fancy, nothing proprietary as to what's happened so far. That's part of the point of asking the benefit, right? And so at that point, then I'm either going to pitch you on working with me, or I can just continue on with discovery, right? And see if you stop me again to say, oh, well, that's all great, Dale, but I do have somebody that I'm working with. So I just wanted to demonstrate the 4 steps that we go through in breaking this apart.
Yeah, and I think the first thing that stands out to me about this is when they say they have an agent, instead of reacting and like retreating, you actually, it feels like you kind of pressed into it. And something that I've been saying lately is I don't really like the phrase objection handling. I like objection understanding, or understanding objections.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
I am, because I agree with you 100%.
Oh,
and
okay. Well, that's good.
I'm reflecting on why we still say objection handling. And it's simply because that's what our industry has been conditioned to understand. Right.
Yeah. You're using a phrase that people understand what it is. For me, I like, I'll use objection handling and say I prefer the phrase understanding objections, because that's really what you did. You didn't try to handle it. You dug deep and you're like asking questions about it. And I think if you guys just learn that, this will translate beyond the specific objection of I have an agent. It's global.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Anyway, yeah,
it's huge. And we've done a lot of training with your team. You've gotten to look under the hood and see how we train.
Man,
and a lot of it is understanding, right? We almost never argue with anybody or make them wrong.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, you guys spent what, 3-4 months with my team. It was fantastic. They still talk about it. So anyway,
that's awesome. So back to the I have an agent stuff. Do you want me to play the call so you can hear it?
Yeah, I'm interested.
I think that'll be fun. All right, so let me get my screens. Hopefully I can share my screen if I'm allowed to. I don't know if I have the power. It looks like I can't share my sound, which would be an issue.
Michelle, can you
give me,
while we're waiting for Michelle to do the sound, we do have a question from Ravi Rayo. Would you test the extent of the relationship by asking if this agent has made an offer on your behalf?
Ravi, I typically don't. Usually that's going to come up in conversation anyway. And when I ask if they've signed anything, in order to make an offer, you'd have to sign a lot of papers, which means you would have signed something.
Right.
So
actually,
I wouldn't
sound not enabled either. So yeah, that's a problem. Michelle, is there any way that the option of sharing and optimize for video or share sound can be turned on? Oh, she made you the host with the most.
The host. Hey, we'll see what that does. I still do not have the option to share sound.
All right, Michelle, we're gonna have to have you turn your camera on.
Despite of being, she did her hair today, so she's definitely camera ready.
She's working on it. She's working on it.
All right. So in the meantime, so the reason that we teach that simple 4-step process is not to muddy the waters. And a lot of times, Barry, as you mentioned, what we're dealing with are agents who have never been taught a good structured process for how to stand in that fire and have that conversation, right? A lot of agents run away, or they don't have a good strategy, or they just default to what they usually do, which would be something like, oh, got it, Barry. So you're happy with the agent you're working with? And you say yes. And then I say, okay, well, let me know if anything changes, right? That's about the extent of a lot of what we hear.
Well, and I've probably gotten a little bit too blunt with people on this because when I say people, my agents and users, because see, I would argue that we're being really selfish in that moment because we're uncomfortable, we're afraid of rejection, and we're seeking acceptance. We don't actually help them in that moment. We're too consumed with our own desire for acceptance to stand in that fire, I think is the expression you used.
Yeah.
It's a 3 to 5 minute uncomfortable conversation where you know they don't want to talk to you, but because you're so passionate about serving this stranger with what is probably the largest financial transaction of their life, just keep asking them a few more questions. They deserve your best. And not that this webinar is about that, but while we had a second, I figured I would step on my soapbox for a second. And
I agree with you 100%. So it underlying that sort of poor performance, right?
Yeah.
So beyond not being trained a good process, what I would say, I definitely agree with you, is that somebody is afraid of being rejected, right? And they're too concerned about themselves. The other part of it is what I see sometimes is that they don't have the confidence in themselves.
Right.
They're like, who am I? That person's probably working with a great agent, or somehow they assume that the other agent is better than they are. And it's a confidence issue.
Well, yeah. And sometimes I expose the fact that someone that has a real relationship with an agent and is searching on their own, normally there's a sense of insecurity about the level of focus that they have from their agent. Not to say every time the agent's not doing a good job, but whether it's rational or not, the consumer is worried that they're missing something, and so they feel they need to look on their own. And so by bringing that up, sometimes there's like a new awareness to the fact, like, look, somewhere along the lines, agents made you picking them about them. Oh, we went to school together. Oh, we live on the same street. I see you at the grocery store every week. The consumer deserves to be selfish when picking an agent, because like, I don't hear anybody getting mad like, oh, why don't you go to my dentist? Why didn't you use my attorney? Like it's too important, right? Like, oh, well, I mean, I got to choose the one that's right for me. Well, this is the largest purchase of their life. So they need to be careful about who they select. But I think your sound is sharing now.
Okay, good. Yeah, let's see if this works. I'm gonna hit play on it and you tell me if you can hear it.
All right.
Kind of, sort of. Have you signed anything with that agent?
Oh, we're too far. Okay.
And how'd you find them?
So hopefully by tomorrow, actually hopefully by the end of the day, she'll have my number for me. She said
And
she's gonna run it through school.
who's pre-qualifying you?
For Fulton.
Oh, Fulton.
Yeah. For the Fulton.
So I'll tee this up a little bit. What you're hearing is right now we're at about 3 minutes, almost 3 minutes, 40 seconds into the conversation, right? At the very beginning, this agent is interacting with this potential home buyer. And she says, yeah, I have an agent I'm working with. I have a mortgage company. Here's what I've done, right? He does what we teach, which is he avoids the agent part and he just goes into building rapport. And here's the rule that we give people. If having an agent or working with an agent or the idea of working with some other agent comes up in conversation, but it's not a conversation stopper, like the lead or the prospect that you're talking to isn't trying to end the conversation as a result of it, then keep going on, ignore it the first time and start building rapport with them. Don't stop the conversation for it. If it's a conversation stopper, then you have to deal with it. You go through this 4-step process. So the way that sounds, right, Barry, would be something like, what we would like go is, oh, hey, yeah, Barry, thanks. Yes, we are thinking about making a move and we'll be moving at about this time. And, our agent's been sending us some listings, but we really haven't seen anything yet. That's a casual mention, right? Keep going, build the rapport versus, hey, Barry, thanks for calling, man, but I already have an agent that I'm working with, or we're all taken care of. We have somebody that we're going to use when the time is right. That's a conversation stopper and you need to handle it at that point.
Right.
So what I'm saying is in this call, the guy heard it up front, he ignored it, he let it go, and then it comes back around at about 3 minutes and 40 seconds, and we'll start hearing it here.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, because I'm not
And
getting none of the houses.
how'd you find them?
Well, my realtor did. I didn't find it. My realtor because
My realtor.
before a year ago, I was house hunting, and I love their homes because their homes are nice, and you don't really have to do too much upgrading to them when you're purchasing them. They're pretty much already upgraded for it, so that's why I liked them, and I was kind of staying with them. So she was looking to see, but when the ladies looked, the homes there were like 420, so it's way out of my price range. However, he's still able, from my understanding, to give me a number that I can work with.
Oh, okay. So, and when you say you're realtor, are you talking about the builder's realtor, or do you have somebody that you're working with privately?
So, someone I'm working with privately,
Oh, okay. And are you committed to that agent?
There it is.
kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of. Have you signed anything with that agent?
No, like what on paper saying that I'm only going to use you or something.
Right.
No.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. And what do you see as the benefit to working with that agent?
She just been with me since everything I've been going through. Like I've been trying to get in the house, and then like cops appeared on my account. I had to get that taken care of. So she just kind of actually just been here going with me, but I'm kind of open, and I done work really hard, and she know how much work I done put into it. So she's like, if anybody's ever home, it's you. She's like, I'm working hard for you. So I'm kind of open.
I'm kind of open. Did you see that? He stayed in the conversation. And then he adds one more question, which I think was great. And it's a pretty standard question that, you know, we use from time to time, which is, you know, what's important in the agent that you use to buy a home. So he added that at the end. And I think it was a really good move. It was a great segue for him because he didn't need to hard sell her. She already said that she was open and she didn't have a whole lot of description going on. And then he asks what she's looking for in the agent that she works with. And then he continues going down the path with her. It does come out after this a little bit more, you know, how long she's been working with that agent. And so that's why Brian and I, you know, both said, hey, based on what we heard, we'd probably let her, you know, go do her thing, especially, you know, when she describes having a caviar budget or caviar taste and beer budget, and, you know, that she's kind of picky. So we were both like, yeah, I think we'll let that one ride off into the sunset with the other agent. But this is a really great application of it. And I wanted people to hear that in real time.
Yeah, I think, you know, I think the question, what do you see as the benefit of working with that agent? Like, I knew it was good, but hearing it live, it really came to life. Like, it was like, gosh, because it really puts into perspective what the real reason is that they're picking that agent to work with. And I think for a lot of people, they would probably have trouble answering.
Yeah.
Some people,
a lot of people have trouble. Some people do. Some people have really good reasons, right? Hey, I really like Barry. You know, his team has an amazing methodology. He's always picks up the phone, you know, like works with us really diligently, really hard. And we just trust him. Like, hey, Barry's doing a great job then. But that's the rarity, right?
Well, because we're so focused on making the prospect happy that like selling our value proposition or our unique selling proposition, which is the VIP programs Brian's talking about. I don't know many agents that do a really good job of sharing their value. I think they're just really excited to talk to a prospect that wants to look at a home or list their home. And so they're not like something that sets us apart, not to sidebar too much, but like on a listing appointment, I would actually ask the seller, and I know we're going sideways a little bit, but I would ask them if they're going to meet. Have you already met with anybody else? Do you plan on meeting them? And I would actually, before they answer, I would say, listen, let me just be candid with you. I haven't gone over everything that I can do. I don't want to put you to sleep. And I love competition. I love hearing what others are doing. And so if you have met with someone else, so I just kind of like approached it right, you know, and I know that that's not really the context of this training, but figured I would add that in there because it does come up with sellers too.
Oh yeah, I think that's great. Absolutely. And this works for sellers also. And then I was going to say, we see it, you know, I'm teaching this from the front side of, you know, I have an agent, how to deal with that. And if anybody's afraid of, you know, or assuming that the agent that they might be competing with somehow is better than them or has this amazing value pitch that the consumer is just in love with, It really doesn't happen very often, because what I'm saying is the other side, we teach our students, we work with them on what we call value propositions.
Mm,
And so we do this drill where we're like, all right, Barry, tell me why I should buy a home from you. Barry,
Yeah.
tell me why I should list my home with you, and go. And sadly, I mean, it's the reason we have a company and why we get paid a lot of money to train, but sadly, not many salespeople can articulate that.
no, not at all. And I tell my agents to always act like the other agent, that there is another agent. First of all, always act
yeah.
like there's another agent,
Always.
and always act like, you know, they're incredible. And it helps you bring your A game, because I think sometimes we think we get it. We're like, oh, I got this one. And then the person picks somebody else for some really dumb reason. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I had one agent that said, you know, I did everything you said, but I didn't win the listing. I said, well, why did they pick the other agent? And she said, because they were in the neighborhood. Then I said, well, did that come up? And she said, well, yeah, they brought up that they really wanted to work with someone that was close. And I know that's not important. So I just told them, well, yeah, I work everywhere. And I was like, okay, they brought up what was important to them.
Right.
And you poo-pooed on it by just
Yeah.
saying I work everywhere. You should have dove deep. You know, you
Yeah.
got to listen to what they're saying.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So what I heard the lead say is, tell me that you work local and I'll hire you. But
Yeah.
instead you said, no, I work everywhere. I don't work local.
I'm a generalist.
Tell me you're a specialist in my neighborhood and I will hire you now. Well, I'm a
Right.
generalist, and that's better. No, it is not the droids they were looking for, man.
Actually, and I've never done this before, but Dale, you know, you pour into the Ylopo community so much. Before we get to the end, how does someone, if somebody wants to inquire about your coaching services, do they just go to Smart Inside Sales, or
Yes.
what is? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's so Smart Inside Sales is where we started. That website's still up. We just launched a new site called Smart Sales Coaching.
Oh, smart.
Because we do more than just inside sales. And
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
actually Chris Nevada, who was like, dude, why are you still under the URL of Smart Inside Sales? Chris Nevada, if you don't know who he is, he's
Yeah.
like the master of naming things, right? He
He's
changed
very
his own name so that he could have the the right URL for his real estate website.
With my team, by the way, I don't make any money if you sign up with Dale. So that's not why I'm doing this.
I don't pay Barry.
Yeah, no, I don't. But do you still do the group coaching for like a team that needs sales support and all that stuff?
Yes. So we train teams. That's our dedicated training. Basically, we have a trainer that's dedicated to working just with that team. And we also do group training. So if they're solo agents or like one or two ISAs need training, we pair them into a small accountability team and they have a trainer that works with them.
Nice.
Yeah.
You still do the thing where everybody has to upload the calls?
Yeah.
Not has to, but yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah. So here's what we do. And not to scare anybody off, but yes, we strongly encourage that our students record their conversations.
Yeah, this was huge for my team.
Huge, man, because like I can teach you something and you're like, I get it. And I'm like, all right, Barry, show me that thing I just taught you. And then you'll kind of suck at it and we can practice and role play, right? And then you'll be amazing. You'll be like, oh yeah, I got that right. I say it all the time to everybody. And I'm like, great, Barry, now let's hear your conversations with these people. And you're actually not saying what it is we talked about.
Exactly.
So
we have another question.
Go ahead.
What would you do with someone who says, I have an agent, and immediately hangs up?
Got it. Well, one, Susan, I would say that, first of all, the only way, usually it's going to be that you said, hi, this is Susan with Amazing Real Estate or whatever, right? And they said, I have an agent, and hung up on you. So what I might do in that case is I might text them and I might say, my apologies. I wasn't calling to be your agent. Do you have 2 minutes to chat now? Right? Question mark. And so that's one scenario. In the other scenario, if you're already in a conversation and somebody says, I have an agent, and hangs up on you, it's because you screwed up the conversation with them and they didn't like you, or they weren't tracking with you, or they're just a jerk and you probably don't want their business anyway. That's what I would say.
Okay. Yeah, actually, if somebody's experiencing a lot of hangups, what we do is we say who we are, who we're with, who we're attempting to reach, and why, in like 1.5 sentences. So it's like, hey, this is Barry, Better Homes and Gardens, attempting to reach John. And then we go up in intonation. Looks like he created a home search profile on our website.
Mhm.
Like, so we found that hangups decreased because we're trying to help the people that are answering the phone recognize that we're not a telemarketer, that they,
Yeah.
and for those that, this is a Ylopo webinar, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
for those that are getting Ylopo leads, you'll notice that that's what Raya starts with. Raya starts with home search profile. Our ISA for our new product, Raya Live, that's coming out. That's the script I had them use because they're answering. I don't even know if you know this, Dale, but they're answering our standard buyer Facebook and Google lead answers 14 questions.
Wow.
14 when they register. If you get direct connect, that's a lead that answered 24 questions. And the cost per lead for our standard buyer PPC is in line with everybody else. Like in my market, it's like $12 a lead. If you want direct connect, it's more like 20 something because of all the questions. But they feel like they created a profile. That's how we were able to get away with what's called a long form lead without, normally long form leads are like $40 or $50. That's why nobody does it. We've been able to give you the best of both worlds. So the phrase home search profile actually works really well in that opening line.
Mhm. Yeah, that's excellent. And for people who don't know what the components are of what you just did, the best way, as you said, to reduce those hangups is giving that piece of information, because all consumers want to know, who are you, why are you calling me, and what do you want?
Right, right. And it goes
That's
a
what they
long
wanna
way. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. Any other questions from the group on how you guys are handling these scenarios, or do you want to go to trying to bring some people on, Dale?
Yeah, we
or-
could bring some people up and role play this and just have them go through it.
So
Who wants to
Dale,
come up and role play live and practice the 4 steps?
yeah, this is a great opportunity for you guys to have some expert training. And it's just a role play, so you don't have to like,
You don't have to kill. What would they do? Chat in that they want to do it?
yeah, that's what they'll do. They'll just go to the chat and type in that you're interested, and then Michelle somehow will wave her magic wand and somehow bring them on.
Yeah,
Or raise hand,
they
question
can
mark.
raise their hand. Yeah. I want to answer, or I want to discuss Robbie's chat in here. Many buyers at an open house will use "I'm working with an agent" to discourage a dialogue without understanding what working with means. Potentially, Robbie, but working with an agent means something to them. And that could even just be, it means to me that I'm going to try to tell this strange, scary salesperson to go away, right? That's what I mean when I say I'm working with an agent. So, just standing in that conversation, just roll into it, say, hey, that's fantastic. Have you been out to see any great houses lately? Right? Or how does this house compare to the other ones that you've seen? Just move on with the conversation in that moment, do the rapport building as we mentioned. And then if they bring agent back up again, use that 4-step process with them.
Right. Yeah, no, that's huge. That's huge. All right, so do we have anybody that is willing to do some role playing? This is how you get better.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Here's what I recommend. This is what I do for FUB. Instead, I don't know if you'd be open to this, Barry, if we do more of these in the future. Just before we go live, you can take the webinar and turn it into a meeting, and then everybody shows up with their cameras on. And then I just randomly pick people. And I'm like, right? How about Jane, unmute yourself. Let's do it. Mark, let's unmute yourself and do it. Right. And it's sort of like, how you asked, like, are you guys still making people upload their calls, your students? Yeah. So we request that they upload their calls. And guess what? If we get to the session and they haven't uploaded any calls, we say, all right, Barry, share your screen, go to your follow-up boss, go to this tab and play the first call that's there.
Right.
That's how we also listen to calls.
Nobody gets great without practice. They
No.
just don't. Yeah,
Not at all.
If you want to do what you've always done, you'll get what you always got. I think that makes sense, right? Do what you always done, get what you always got. Yeah.
Yes,
So
it does.
But in the meantime, until we get some hands, I can role play. I can be the agent, and I don't remember, what would you? So it's,
Susan's gonna role play. There we go. Here, I'm gonna share my screen.
Alright.
I'll show you. I will show you a fancy little PDF guy over here.
Hello. I'm
Hello.
going to go out of my comfort zone.
All right, Susan, good to see you. Can you read this?
Yes, I can.
All right. So what you'll notice is the first one is paraphrase, right?
Yep.
And then
Yep.
are you committed? Have you signed? And what's the benefit to using that agent? Or is there a benefit to using that agent? Or is there an advantage to using that agent, right? Any of those.
Okay.
So let's do a soft one first, okay?
Okay.
All right. So ask me if I'll buy a home with you.
Hey, Dale, will you buy a home with me?
Well, no, Susan, thank you. I have an agent.
Oh, I see you have an agent already.
Yeah, we have somebody that has been sending us listings and we're planning on working with them.
Oh, okay. Are you committed to them?
Well, I mean, like I said, they've been sending us emails and, we plan on working with them.
Okay. If I can ask, have you signed anything with them yet?
Oh, no, we haven't done that.
Okay. Is there any reason why? Can you give me an idea of what the benefit to working with that agent is? If you haven't signed anything yet?
Okay, so I wouldn't tie in the why haven't you signed anything? Don't muddy
Okay.
the waters, okay? Keep it
Okay.
positive, keep moving forward because it also, you just suggested that I've done something wrong or that this person is not right for me.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
see.
you
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
And so you don't want to bake that in there because that
Okay.
just sounds like your typical
Sure.
sales, right?
Yeah,
Instead,
yeah.
just keep it positive and find out what's important to me. So yeah, no, I haven't signed anything with them yet, Susan.
Okay. Can you tell me what the benefit of working with that agent is?
Yes, I can, Susan. Well, like I said, they're very nice and, they know what we're looking for and they've been sending us emails and, yeah, they're knowledgeable in the area. Good.
Okay. Is that
Okay.
important to you?
Okay. Yes, it is. Well, yes, it is. You don't even need to ask that. It is important to me because I just said it and I'm just
Okay.
coaching you. So here's
Sure.
what you would do after that, Susan,
Mhm.
is I've just given you knowledgeable in the area, right?
Right.
Nice and know what I want. Are
Okay.
you able to cover all those bases for somebody?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Well, my agent is. I'm an ISA. I should have said that. I'm sorry.
Your ISA is able to cover that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So then I just got you to practice this. I'm going to tell you the what after. All right.
Okay.
The reason that you're pulling out the benefit or the advantage is because you want to understand what you need to sell back to someone.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
Now, the only thing is, let's say I'm the lead and I'm already working with somebody, right? And I like them. I think that they're knowledgeable and they know what I want. Can you just simply say, oh, well, we're knowledgeable. We know we can find out what you want and we can send you homes too. Is that going to work?
No.
Why?
No. Because they'll be trying to defend working with somebody already. They're going to probably get closer to the other realtor. You might be pushing them.
Here's actually why it won't work, Susan.
Mhm.
It's because I already have those things. It's the devil that I know versus the devil that I don't. You are the devil I don't know, right?
Right.
So in order for me to risk, to let go of what I already have, what I'm already comfortable with, and consider some alternative or something else, there has to be more, better, faster, cheaper, easier included. You can actually see it down there at the bottom, right? You determine what the benefits are that they think they're getting, and then you sell those benefits back, but you have to offer better, faster, cheaper, easier, or more in order to attract them.
Right. I can't see the bottom line on my screen. The Zoom window. Oh, okay. Great.
Yep. So that's just the instruction down there. And so I'm just running through by explaining this to you. You did a great job of getting through the questions with a little bit of tweaking to make sure that you don't muddy the waters, like I said. And once you can get through that process, I just wanted you to understand why you're unpacking it, why you want to know what the benefit is.
Sure. And I'm sure it gets easier as you do it like this. I'm going to start paraphrasing: committed, signed, and benefit to.
There we go. Excellent. do you want to try? How about this? Let's get fancy. Since we don't have anybody else up that wants to role play the basic format.
Anybody else want to?
No, we're going to do it on the fly. You can do this.
You're doing
Good.
such a good job, Susan. Really, you really
great.
are. Seriously. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're doing great. All right. So what you're going to do, Susan, is you're going to sell me back what I said I wanted and try to add more, better, faster, cheaper, easier to it.
Oh,
So
sell-
it could sound something like this. So we said, knowledge of the area, find what I want, right? And what was the other one, Barry? Nice.
I think that was
nice was it? Yeah,
Okay.
nice.
So it could sound something like this. And I'm just gonna put it together for you, Susan, right? Hey, Susan, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it sounds like a great agent as well. And you know what our clients all report back to us is that after they go through the process of purchasing with us, they really feel like we're more friends than business associates as we help them find the perfect home for themselves in these neighborhoods that you're looking for, since we, sell so many of them every single year. And in fact, I'd love to show you the Buyer Advantage program that we use for those clients that help them get a great deal and find the perfect home for themselves. Is that something you'd be interested in hearing more about? Right? So I put the pieces together. I stuck a more, better, faster, cheaper, easier on top and gave you a soft close.
Okay.
All right.
I'll try. I'm
Okay.
uncertain, but I'll try.
All right. You give it a try. So we need nice. I covered nice. I can't just say we're nice, right? I use nice with social proof by saying, here's what our clients think of us. Did you notice that?
See. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
You can't just sell me nice. You use
Right.
social proof for that one. All right, good. So
Right.
nice, knowledge of the area and, knowing what I'm looking for.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, so give it a shot.
That is great. Sounds like the agent might be working well with you. I find that with people that I work with, because I'm an ISA, that
Never say that.
I'm able, never say that?
Never say you're an ISA.
Nobody
Okay.
knows what that is.
So I should never disclose that I'm not the realtor interesting.
You don't
Okay.
need to, because all it does is takes your power away. All it does
know what
is I'm not the
Right.
point person here and I'm not the authority.
Well, how do you make that conversion or that handoff then smoothly?
Yeah.
Because
So-
I find difficulty with that. People end up saying to me, oh, well, I'm not going to work with you.
Yeah. So here's the thing. You're actually making the handoff harder by pointing out that you are not the authority and that you're not the person, right? Instead, and sorry, Laura and Lindsay, I'll definitely get to you so you can practice this, but I just have an opportunity to help this ISA here. Basically, Susan, you speak as though it's we're working with you, right? We would love to show you homes. We would love
Right.
to
I do.
see. Yeah, we. And then when you get down to it, you say, excellent. You know what? My partner Barry is available on either Wednesday or Thursday to get together with you guys. Which one works better for you? And if go ahead, Barry.
I was just saying, I also like the phrase client care coordinator. It just makes a lot more sense than ISA. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. And you know what, Susan, you don't usually even need to point that stuff out.
No.
Usually if you do the street magic sort of handoff and you don't call attention to it, people generally go with it. 2 out of 10 people might be like, oh, I'm not working with you. Then you just say, you know what, you're working with myself and my partner, Barry. I'm inside, Barry's outside. Barry's the one that'll be showing you the homes, or Barry's the one that's going to sit on your couch and go through the listing paperwork with you, right? I'm still here for you. We're still working together, but Barry's the one that's going to be meeting you. And that will usually work for most people. Occasionally.
I do.
Yeah.
I do, but I say I refer that we're part of a team. There's 4 of us and we're a team. I'm the admin part of the person and I don't do the showings, but I don't point that out to the client. But they do regularly say, when I say, Marcia can meet you at Thursday at 2:00. Oh, you mean I'm not going to work with you? No, we're part of a team and that's part of what she does.
You
I'm
say,
part of the team.
yes, we're working together. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Good. My point is, you pointed out specifically
you.
that you were an ISA. You don't need to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Thank
Good.
you.
Yeah, you're
Very
welcome.
important.
Laura
Appreciate it.
Feingold, you're welcome. All right, Laura, you see my screen? Excellent. Okay. So Laura asked me if I'll buy a home from you.
So Dale, are you ready to buy a home with me?
Oh, you know what, Laura, I appreciate that, but I have an agent I'm working with.
Oh, you have an agent you're working with?
Okay, hold on a second. Let's do it. Let's do it a little less. This is improv class. I want you to do it a little less like that sounds like a terrible idea. You can question it,
You
but
could
just not
do
so
that in
much
my
like,
voice?
are you an idiot for working with somebody else, right?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, you know what, Laura, thanks, but I have an agent that I'm going to be working with.
You have an agent that you're going to be working with. Okay.
Up on the end. Up on the end. Make it
You
more
have an
pleasant.
agent that you're going to be working with?
There it is. Thank you.
That's good. That's good.
That you hear the difference in, right, Barry, as the
Oh, yeah.
passive observer, you hear the difference.
Oh yeah. No, I can totally hear it. It's
Totally
almost
hear
like you
this.
sound interested versus
Yeah.
bothered.
Yeah. And I want to tell you, Laura and Lindsay and everybody listening, the reason for this is I like to say that nobody says, can I curse? I don't know if I can curse.
Yeah, do
Go
it.
ahead. Go
Nobody
ahead.
says stupid shit because they think it's stupid, right? They say these things because they think it's the right thing to do. They think it makes sense. It's the best option. It's obvious that I would do that, right? Or I'm convinced of it. And so if you approach somebody with a tone that sounds like that's stupid, or I disagree with you, they're already in opposition to you. So your tone actually matters. And if you can approach with a tone that sounds like, oh, I support you, I just don't know the details.
Yeah.
And that keeps the information flowing and it doesn't screw up the relationship, right?
Got it.
That's why it matters. Okay, great. Yeah. It's an agent that worked with my neighbor. They did a great job. And so we're planning on using them too.
Oh, that's great. Are you committed to that agent?
No, not really, but we were planning on using them.
Okay. So you haven't signed any exclusive paperwork with them at all?
I haven't, no.
Okay. Well, can I ask you what the benefit for working with them would be?
Good job. You got through it. Now, based on the conversation, Laura, how could you zhuzh up that last question about benefit?
What is zhuzh?
Do you know what a zhuzh is?
Of course.
don't.
Everybody knows what a zhuzh is.
I don't know
Everybody
what it
except Barry's from the East Coast. I don't understand how he doesn't know what zhuzhing is.
I don't
You-
know what you. I
You
don't even
make
know
it
what
better, make it fluffier and more attractive.
Okay. All right. There we
Like
go.
my hair.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's a zhuzh.
That's like, this is a pretty high bar, but yeah.
So, based on what you said, I could have said, let's see. So, I understand it's important to you that the person, know your area and and they've worked with people that you know. So you have friends in common. That's what's important.
You're getting the right pieces. So listen to it like this. Oh, got it, Laura. So I understand they worked with your neighbor. Sounds like they did a great job. Other than that, is there any other specific benefit to using that agent? Okay. I took what you said. I said I heard you and I negated it. And I said, what else? Give me another reason, right? Why else is there that you would do this?
Are you asking me to give you another reason, or is that what you're saying?
No. I just wanted to demonstrate for you.
Sure.
You did awesome getting through the script. And then you can plus size this. You can really take it up because I gave you some good meaty information that you can take the information. You can say, oh, I hear you. And now we're going to put that one away. And I want you to give me any more reasons that you can think of. I'm going to change the direction of this conversation so that you don't just say back to me. If you said, oh, what's the benefit to working with that agent? So you don't just get back the same info, which is, well, they did a great job for my neighbor.
Okay.
Right? Good. Does all that make sense?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Great job.
Lots of zhuzhing.
Lots of zhuzhing. Yes. All right.
Great job,
Lindsay,
Laura.
Great job, Laura. Thank you so much for participating. It was going to be kind of lame if it was just me and Barry and nobody wanted to play. So thank you so much.
I agree. You guys are all rock stars. I'm so impressed with all of you guys. It's the desire to get better it's a hallmark of people that are growing in their careers. So kudos to all you guys for coming on here with us.
Well, once you threw out the cheat sheet, made it a little bit easier.
That's when
Okay,
you hit your
let's go.
button. I'm going to do it.
Mental note,
Yeah.
file that away,
There
Dale.
you go.
I've discovered
Let
that.
us know that there's a cheater.
Yes. All right,
Really
Lindsay.
haven't thrown the curveball out there. The whole, well, my cousin is a realtor and I'm going to work with my cousin or
Mm,
that
yeah.
family member, that's somebody that's close.
Wait,
What's
let
the
me handle that.
benefit
Let's
to
let me
using-
handle cousin. Okay. I'm just going to demonstrate it for you guys real quick. And then Lindsay, I'll let you run through this. Okay. And Laura, that's one of the most difficult ones. Okay. Inserting yourself into a family relationship or into a relationship where somebody's been working with a real estate agent for a long time or done a lot of transactions with them is hard to do. And so I'm going to demonstrate for you probably the best shot you'll have in having any chance of making that happen, but still it's a long shot. And again, like Barry and I were talking about, do you really want to do it? You know, because if they're happy, they're satisfied, are you really trying to get in there? But I'll demonstrate it for you. So Laura, you have an agent?
Are you talking to me now?
Yeah, use your example. I want you to use the cousin example or whatever it is.
Yeah, actually, my cousin is an agent, and so I'm going to help him help me out.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I think that can make a lot of sense. Are you committed to using your cousin?
Well, I'd be disowned if I worked with someone else.
Okay, sounds like it would make Thanksgiving weird. Have you signed anything with your cousin yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, great. And
We
so
have a trust.
what's that?
We have a mutual trust.
Mutual trust. And I deeply respect that. I typically have that with all of my clients as well. Let me ask you this. Obviously, they're your cousin. You said you would get disowned if you didn't use them. Other than that, are there any specific benefits or advantages to you using just your cousin to do this?
Not really, but if you'd be willing to pay him a referral fee, if you find the home, I'd be happy to find something with you as well.
It's so funny that you just took my clothes away from me.
Ha!
That's where I was going to head to, right? And it wasn't going to be paying a referral fee because people don't usually like it when you say you're going to pay off their family member to get rid of them. The way I would present it is, got it. Hey, if there's no other specific benefit, what if your cousin and I could work together? And I could show your cousin how my team and I sell X number of homes every year. You get 2 experts looking out for you and he still gets paid and everybody's happy and Thanksgiving is still fantastic, right? Like that's how I would approach that conversation rather than, I wouldn't just say referral fee.
Well, and the other thing I add to that, all that is awesome, is I really, if I feel like they're listening to me, I emphasize the fact that, look, there's a way to do this to where you can have an agent that does this full-time and experienced. You deserve to be a little bit selfish. This is probably one of the largest purchases of your life. I'm willing to collaborate with your family members so that they don't feel slighted and we can cooperate and work together. Like I do think it's in the best interest of the client, sincerely, to weigh their option as to who is best going to serve their need, not just based off of doing your family member a solid. This should be like, you're not doing something sleazy by exposing the fact that they have the power of choice. And then you're kind of just doing them a solid by saying, I'm willing to collaborate with this family member for your benefit.
Yeah, exactly. Good. All right. So Lindsay.
So before you even jump into this, I want everyone to know that literally that just happened to me.
Ooh, the family member.
Actual cousin. It was a cousin. And I sold them a house and they had to list their house. And their cousin ripped into them for using me. And he is not in the area, is not local. And yeah, it was a very hard conversation to have. And they wanted to go with me, but they did not want relationships to. It was rough. I'll just say it was a very rough situation for me.
Did he end up using the cousin? Did they use
the cousin and I brought the buyer.
That's almost like even more annoying.
Slap in
Poetic
the
justice.
face.
I mean, I'm glad you still got a deal out of it, but it's just like, wow, you really sold it. Like you actually,
Right.
like you
Right.
didn't
Yeah,
just list it, you
literally.
actually sold it.
Literally. I
Yeah.
had 4 buyers for it.
That's
Oh.
why I like the collaboration vibe. Let's all 3 jump on a call. There's
Yeah.
a way that we can work together. And now if they're a jerk, then there's nothing you can do about it. But
Yeah.
I
Not
was-
usually. Not-
There's a point too when you're not going to win, and they felt horrible, and it was just I had to release them from their guilt and be like, it's fine, it's
Yeah.
fine.
well,
Everything.
good for you.
Sometimes that's the price that you pay to maintain the relationship.
Yeah.
All right, Lindsay, do you want to
All
run
right, let's
through this
do
real quick? Because
Yeah.
we're out of time, but ask me to buy a house with you.
Are you ready to buy a house with me?
Well, thanks, Lindsay, but I have an agent that I'm planning on using.
Okay, great. Have you signed with them yet?
Hold on. I want you to
Sorry.
paraphrase. You go up on the end.
You've already you're working with an agent?
Well, we have somebody that we're planning to use. Yeah, they worked with my neighbor. They did a really great job.
Okay, great. Have you signed anything with them yet?
Are you committed?
Oh, crap. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Paraphrase, committed, signed, benefit.
Okay, are you committed to that agent?
Well, they did, like I said, they did a great job, and we're pretty sure we're going to use them.
Okay, now I get to ask if you're signed with them yet. Okay. Have you signed anything with them yet?
No, we haven't reached out to them yet.
Oh, so you actually haven't spoken to them yet about purchasing a home?
No.
Okay. Well, let me just ask you this. What do you have what's the benefit of using that agent?
Okay, good. Now do it ninja style like I taught Laura, because I already gave you some info, right? If you ask it naked like that, what am I
Okay.
likely to tell you?
I don't know. What are you likely to tell me?
Well, what did I say about this agent so far?
You've really given me no information. You said that you haven't started using him yet.
What did I tell you about the agent? Why do I know about this agent in the first place?
Oh my God, I don't even know.
Active listening.
Yeah.
They did a great job for my neighbor.
That's right. Okay.
There it is, right?
There it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
now, if you just go, I said naked, if you ask that question naked, what I mean is that if you don't negate what I've already told you or somehow hold it up and say, tell me something else, you're probably just going to get the same information back again.
Got it. So I'm asking them, so how did they do? I want to ask them what they did for the neighbor.
Nope, it's more like this.
Okay.
When you get to the benefit question, you
Yeah.
phrase it in this way where you let me know that you already know what I've said, and you put it to the side. And it sounds like, so Lindsay, they did a great job for your neighbor. I hear you there. Makes a lot of sense. Other than that, you heard that transition?
Yeah.
Other than that, right?
Okay.
Is
Yeah.
there a specific benefit to working with that agent over any other one in the market? So I held it up. I said, Lindsay, I heard you. Let's put that away, because I want to talk about something else. I want to change the conversation, and I don't want you to just tell me again that they did a great job for your neighbor, because it's not
Right.
going to advance the conversation.
Right. Okay.
Good.
So I want you to give me more stuff.
More stuff. Exactly. If there is anything, and sometimes there's not, I
Yeah.
don't know. They just did a great job for the neighbor. Okay. Well, I don't have a whole lot I don't need to do a lot of selling then, because there's not a lot to sell against there.
Okay.
So let's run all the way through top to bottom. All right. Ask me to
Okay.
buy a house with you.
Okay. Hey there. Would you like to buy a house with me?
Well, thanks, Lindsay, but we have an agent that we're going to be using.
Okay. Are you committed to that agent?
Love you, Lindsay. You're probably an amazing salesperson.
I am.
I'm going to hammer you into this process just to make you follow the directions. Paraphrase.
Okay.
Paraphrase first. Why
Oh,
would you?
okay, sorry.
Why would you
Sorry.
paraphrase? Do you know why?
To show that I'm listening.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Why would you paraphrase? What's the point of repeating back to me in a question form the objection I just gave you? Lindsay, I'm going to dye my hair blue.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're gonna dye your hair blue?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
excellent. Now, is there a million reasons under the sun why a middle-aged white man like me with great hair already would dye it blue?
Right. There's not.
Do you know which question to ask into the face of
Right.
that?
Right.
Like, okay, so it's a cheater The
Okay,
paraphrase is a cheater. I don't know what question to ask you, so I'm just going to repeat it back to you in question
Okay.
form and get you to tell me which way we're going with this conversation, because
Okay.
that's nuts, right?
all right, yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
Lindsay, thanks, but we have an agent that we're planning on using.
Oh, you have an agent?
Yeah, they worked with my neighbor and they did a really great job.
Okay, are you committed to that agent?
Well, you know, like I said, they did a great job for Bob, and you know, we're planning on using them.
Is this where I'm asking if you've signed with them yet?
Mhm.
Okay. Have you
You're
signed
doing
it?
such a good job.
Am I?
It's so-
I don't
it's
think so.
hard for me. No, it's
That's
so hard.
okay. I do
This
this
stuff is
when I'm
really hard for
actually,
me.
when I'm talking to the Ylopo leads, I do this to them too. I'm just like, guys, am I asking the right questions here? Okay, yeah. Have you signed anything with that agent yet?
No, we haven't. Mm-mm.
So aside from them doing really well with with your neighbor, what other benefits is there to using that agent?
Yes, I earned my pay today, Barry.
Yes,
That's
I'm
that's
so
what it
excited.
is. Got the payoff. Thank you,
You
Lindsay.
You're
Well,
welcome,
what's
everyone,
really
for
cool
being
about
the guinea
this-
pig of the person who clearly can't pay attention to
No,
it.
that's great. It's actually
No,
worse
listen.
when everybody comes in and does it exactly like this, because they make it look way too easy, and then it looks like I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
this this will actually work. Like, it's actually going to work when you get a lead that says, you know, they've got an agent. If you do anything similar to what you just did, it will absolutely work. Like 100%.
Love it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that it clicked, that we got you all the way through.
Dale's definitely taking a nap after this, though.
I'm pumped.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
My hair just went up by another quarter inch.
That's good.
That's how you, it's like an orca fin, you can tell.
Great job, Susan. Great job, Laura. Great job, Lindsay. You guys all crushed it. Tremendous work.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you so
Dale,
much.
you were okay. You were all right.
Thank you.
Thank you. I do what I can.
All right. Well,
about
I
a
think
humble
we're
man.
at the top of the hour. Another amazing session. Do we have another one on the books yet, Dale, or is that TBD?
I think we do, and I'm going to be at the what are we calling them? The freedom
Ylopo
freedom
regional
shows?
events.
Regional
Dale
events.
is coming on the road with us. He will be in Vegas. He will be in Chicago and Orlando.
Yes.
So if you guys that are on this, the regional events, they aren't real estate events can be a lot of fun, right? There's a lot of fun to be had, a lot of activities. What we decided with a lot of agents are trying to really, you know, figure out how to make more money right now. They're trying to reevaluate things. And so we decided that we would come to different parts of the country and for 2 days, have your laptops open, and Gabe and I and other professors like Dale, we're going to pour into you. And instead of leaving and thinking, I have so much to do, legitimately the goal is that we've actually done it while you're there, and worked on things while you're there, so that you can leave and still have a list of things to work on, but you've actually like moved the needle in your business. So there's a link in the chat right now to that. We've made the price as low as we could. It's $299. So this is not a profit center for us. Just trust that if you execute on what we're teaching, you're going to make a lot more money. So, but you guys have a great rest of your day, and have a great day as well, Dale. Thanks for all the help, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. That was so much
All right.
fun. Thank you guys for being
Thanks, everybody. All right. Bye.